Hi, my name is Jay McCurdy. I'm an assistant professor at Mississippi State University and a co-principal investigator working alongside a nationwide group of faculty seeking to understand the ecology and biology of the troublesome turfgrass weed Poa annua, or annual bluegrass. My colleagues and I welcome you to the introductory module about our project. Our mission is to discover new and novel means of controlling annual bluegrass. And along the way, we hope to share what we are learning with you, our stakeholders. Poa annua is commonly known as annual bluegrass in North America. But to much of Europe, it is known as annual meadowgrass. In the United States, it is colloquially often called Poa, which is its genus. The genus Poa includes approximately 500 species. Common examples include Poa pratensis, or Kentucky bluegrass, also known as smooth meadowgrass, Poa trivialis, or Poa triv, which was once commonly used to overseed greens of the southeast and is also known as roughstalk bluegrass or rough meadowgrass. Annual bluegrass is thought to have originated from a hybrid of Poa infirma, weak bluegrass, and Poa supina, creeping meadowgrass, that occurred approximately 2.5 million years ago in the interglacial ice ages of Europe. Annual bluegrass is widespread around the world. Its presence has been observed on all continents, including Antarctica, though it is most prominent in temperate climates. Annual bluegrass is an annual comprised of numerous biotypes or populations, many of which are capable of perenniating, meaning that they may exist in a vegetative state throughout the year, all along producing viable seed. Though perennials are much less common than the annual biotypes, they tend to occur in frequently mown or grazed scenarios in temperate climates with adequate year-round moisture. Annual bluegrass is a common constituent of most maintained turf areas around the world. It is often considered a weed, but it is also propagated as a desired turf species. In fact, some of the most lauded golf greens in the world are composed of annual bluegrass, including Pebble Beach, Oakmont, and the more recently converted Chambers Bay. Annual bluegrass has an open, triangular-shaped panicle with spikelets that are stalked and awnless. The ligule of annual bluegrass is pointed and silvery, whereas the ligule of Kentucky bluegrass is square, and Poa trivialis has a pointed ligule but is less silvery and may in some instances be lacking. The leaf tip of most Poa species has a keel or boat-shaped tip. Annual bluegrass has historically been an important weed of many, if not most, commodity and specialty crops. The extensive reliance upon herbicides as the primary means of control has led to almost overwhelming presence of herbicide resistance. There are very few commonly utilized herbicides that annual bluegrass has not evolved resistance to, albeit often in isolated or unique populations. However, the worrying trend is that for some turf scenarios, we no longer have effective chemical means of controlling annual bluegrass. The sites of action, or SOAs, listed in the table represent the currently reported cases of annual bluegrass resistance to various herbicides. The center column contains the Weed Science Society of America, or WSSA, shorthand numbers representing each one of these sites. We'll learn more about these later, but they are meant to help practitioners to quickly and easily distinguish between different sites of action. The active ingredients reported in the column on the right represent relevant active ingredients within the turfgrass industry. The ResistPoa project is an interdisciplinary collective of weed, turf, and social scientists who are actively pursuing several avenues of research necessary to overcome the wicked problem that is Poa annua. 16 faculty at 14 separate institutions, as well as numerous staff and students, are taking part in a United States Department of Agriculture Specialty Crop Research Initiative project to evaluate the distribution of herbicide-resistant annual bluegrass in the United States and means of preventing or overcoming that herbicide resistance. The team will be evaluating non-chemical means of weed control, such as common cultural practices, as well as natural pesticides. They'll also be investigating the ecology and biology of this fascinating yet troubling plant species. 5 climate regions throughout the continental United States will be sampled for resistant populations. Across regions, there will be almost 2,000 populations collected and evaluated for their unique response to different herbicides. To do this, we need your help. In a moment, you'll have the opportunity to fill out a survey that lets us know about your location as a potential collection site. We are specifically looking for sites with cases of suspected herbicide resistance. If possible, we will collect plants from your site, or you may arrange to submit them by mail. Once we have your site information and plants, we will propagate those plants in a greenhouse and then treat them with different herbicides. If they are not controlled, we will collect seed and further investigate modes of resistance. Do you want to participate as a survey site? To do so, please scan this QR code with your mobile device or go to this website. Notice that the R in resist and P in POA are case sensitive. This survey is hosted by Texas A&M, but data will be shared with all investigators. Finally, these authors, as well as team members within their labs, are to be given credit for the development and review of this module. Financial support for this work was provided by the United States Department of Agriculture Specialty Crop Research Grant. Our thanks are extended to the Weed Science Society of America and Herbicide Resistance Action Committee for allowing us to use training materials posted on their website as the starting point for these lessons. In later modules, we'll discuss herbicide resistance and best management practices. Again, I'm Jay McCurdy. My colleagues and I welcome your input and participation. Thank you.